Hi, this is Loretta, and I'm filming a video of my design team project for the October 2016 Scrapbooking with Me Boutique monthly kit. I will leave all of the links down below in the description bar. There is a way to get signed up for monthly kits if you're interested in that. That way you never miss out on a kit. I'd been wanting to do a centerpiece for my table for fall, and I absolutely love how this turned out, and I hope you guys do too. I did do a step-by-step filming of this project so that any of you guys that would like to follow along, hey, you can do that. That's going to follow this initial showing the whole project. This paper line was the American Crafts Jen Hadfield design for Pebbles. Is called Warm and Cozy. Okay, I did not tell you in the step-by-step that I used popcorn kernels as a filler for my candle holders. The candles that are inside are also the flameless. Obviously, I would not want to use real candles in this. It would be extremely flammable. But especially when they're not turned on, they really look like real candles. So, I mean, I'm really, really happy with how this turned out, and I hope you guys are too. Please leave me your comments. I love to read, and I do read each and every one of them. It really means a lot to me that I have subscribers that are interested in what I do. And I hope you guys enjoy the video, the rest of the video. The first thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm working with some just regular foam board. And you can get it really pretty much anywhere. There are 3 sheets in this package. And they are 16 by 20 inches. And then I'm also going to be working with the October kit. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of this foam board and I'm going to leave it at the 20 inches long, and I'm going to be cutting it by 7 inches wide. I'm going to cut that with a craft knife. So I'm going to get to that point and I'll be back. So what I did was I cut this piece of foam board to 7 inches wide, and I'm going to make this box 3 inches tall. So I cut 2 more strips by 3 inches. And what I'm going to do next to join this box together is I have some Scotch quick dry adhesive, and I'm going to, and I can't get all of this foam board in frame, but I'm going to run a bead of the Scotch dry glue all along this edge, and this is just going to help make it a little bit more secure when I finish. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to place the foam board on here. And you guys, right at first, it's not going to be real steady. But I've got these little sewing straight pins, and this is going to dry clear, so you guys don't panic if it slips out of place like mine just did. And so these little sewing needles, and I'm hoping that I'm on camera, I'm going to put right in between, and that's really going to help hold it. Okay. Can you guys see that? Where I put that in there, and then I'm going to come to this end right here, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a straight pin right down in there to kind of hold that in. You can use a ball folder or something to push that pin down in there. Now I'm going to put pins all along this edge, and then I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to add this to this side in the same manner. So, and once you get that first piece on here like this, it's going to be very steady once you get that first piece on there. So I'm just going to just whoop and see. I don't know if you can see that, but I put that a little bit too far. So that's no big deal. I'm just going to pull it out and push it in again. Whoops. Pull it out and push it in again. Alright, and I'm just going to go down the line here, adding straight pins as I go down the line to make this nice and sturdy. That's not exactly a good. That bone folder is not working too good for me. It's too. Okay. Just like that. Alright. And I'm going to continue down the line until I get all of those straight pins in, and then I'm going to flip the box over and put the other side on just that same way, and I'll be right back. Now that I have both of the sides attached, and hopefully you can see the straight pins that are running along the side, I'm going to measure the space between here and here, because these pieces of foam board have added some width. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here, because as you may be able to see, these are not perfectly square, and it's because they don't have these end pieces yet. So I'm going to measure down at the bottom from one corner to 1/4. And it is, let's see, it is 7 3/8. So I'm going to cut 2 pieces of foam board 3 inches by 7 3/8. And when I finish with that, I'll come back. Next, I'm going to attach these 2 ends in the same manner that I showed you with the glue and the straight pins, but I will pin the corners first, and then I will put a pin on either side and a couple of pins in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and attach those. Alright, so now I've attached the ends, and you can see on this end where I put the 4 pins. And then I'm going to flip it around to this end where you can see where I put the rest of the pins. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach all of the rest of the pins, and then I'm going to decide how I'm going to cover this box. The next step that I took is I got some black duct tape from my stash, and I just ran duct tape all along the edges where those pins were. And you're not going to be able to see this duct tape enough once I get the box all covered for it to make any difference, and it makes it more sturdy for a centerpiece. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, next what you're going to need are all the strips are going to be 2 3/4 inches tall this way. So what you're going to need is, you're going to need 4 strips that are 6 inches long, 2 strips that are 12 inches long, and 2 strips that are 7 1/8 inches long, all by 2 3/4 inches tall. The ones that are 12 inches long, you're going to back those with chipboard and foam tape, or foam. And you can use a cereal box, or if you have medium weight chipboard, you can use that, whichever one that you would like. And then the next thing that I'm doing is, I have these flowers that came in the kit, and I found some of these little fall looking flowers in my stash, and I'm just playing around with some different flower layers. I pulled a few flowers from my stash that I may use in with this. The patterns that I used for these are the 6-inch strips. I used this pattern. The 7 1/8 inch strips, I used this pattern. And the 12-inch strips, I used this pattern. So I glued the 2 strips that are 7 1/8 inch long on the ends. I'll flip it around and show you this end. And then the 2 6-inch strips I've glued along the long edge. And I know you can't see the whole box, but that leaves a strip in the center. And the 2 long 12-inch strips, and put on chipboard, will be adhered to the center. I'm trying to make sure I'm on camera here, I'm sorry. Will be adhered to the center of the box. Okay? So right now, I'm coming up with ideas to decorate the remainder of the box. And I found some trim in my stash that I like. And it's this burlap trim. And I found some brads. And you could use the sequins that come in the kit if you like. I just like these brads. So I cut strips of this and attached the brads. And I am going to attach the trim to the ends of the box like so. And I also pulled some other trim, which is this Prima trim. I don't think this is available in the boutique anymore, but I thought that I might use this trim along the center of this strip, and then do, okay, these are the flowers that came in the kit right here. These two. I'm going to layer those. I got this little Prima flower from my stash that I'm going to put in the center of there. And I thought that I would layer that along here. I got these little fall looking leaves I thought I would use to make, and I got just some little flowers from my stash, and I thought I would make a little flower arrangement on the edges of those. So I'm going to work on getting those adhered and put together, and once I do that, I'll show you what's next. Okay, now I'm using Fabric Tack by Beacon to attach this ribbon. And it's not going to meet all the way to the side, but that's just fine. That's no problem, because I'm going to attach that 12-inch piece to it. So I've glued the flower layers together, and I've used fabric tack to adhere this little strip of trim, but it's just a little bit too, not quite in the center. So fabric tack does give you a little bit of working time to get it right in the center. Hopefully that's it. And I'm going to adhere that onto our box, just like so, in the center of these other strips. Hard to show you when I can't get it all in frame, but I will get pictures of this at the end. Next, I have these leaves. They're chipboard leaves. I've had them for a really long time. I'm going to run these through my embossing folder, and then I'm going to paint and glaze them. And then I'm going to take the design team paper that came in the kit. We got this die set last year, and I had this Tim Holtz tattered leaves, and I'm going to cut a bunch of leaves from the design paper and from the paper that we got in the kit to use as a filler for my box. I took these leaves and I ran them through the embossing folder, and then in order to tone down the spray mist that I used on these, first I gessoed them, then I spray misted them, and then I used some, I don't know, sort of like rub and buff to go over the top of these. Then I bought these little plastic glasses, and I want to dress them up a little bit. So I'm going to take some trim and put those on the rim to dress those up. I'm going to work on looping some twine on these ends of these boxes. In the meantime, I want to show you the plastic cups I've put some trim on. I did not have enough of one kind of trim, so I did 3 cups in this trim and 2 in the other. At any rate, what I'm going to do here, let me make sure that I'm on camera. Alright, I'm going to take some fabric tack by Beacon, and I'm just going to put a little glob down here, and then I'm going to take just some twine, and you can get this twine anywhere, and I'm going to leave a tail on one end, and I'm just going to wrap it around a few times like so. I'm going to grab it in the middle, and then I'm going to leave a tail on the other side. Now, I kind of want this tail to go this way. I hope I'm doing this on camera. Okay, that's a little too big, but you get the idea of what I'm going to do. I'm going to make that just a little bit smaller, and then I'm going to glue that down, and I'm going to do that on both sides. Okay, now that I've got that looped, I'm going to take one of the leaves that I've embossed, and I'm going to put that over the loops. Alright, so now I'm going to glue some flowers onto the middle part of the box. I'm also going to be gluing down some leaves. The last thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to, let me move this forward just a little bit so that hopefully you can see. I'm going to Okay. I'm going to glue these glasses that I altered into the bottom of the box. And then I'm going to fill the box up first with this little fall colored filler. Then with all of these leaves that I've die cut. Then with a few little painted pine cones and acorns, etc. And that concludes all of the step-by-step. I hope you guys got a lot out of that. If you have any questions on the step-by-step process that I did not cover, please leave me a comment or shoot me a message and I'll be sure to get back to you. Alright, until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.